Agent Raven reporting in. It's been 1,000 days since Russia launched what they called a special military operation in Ukraine. Back then, most thought the fall of Kiev was a matter of days, maybe weeks. But that hasn't happened. Instead, this war has dragged on with a devastating human cost. Estimates say nearly 1 million people, soldiers and civilians, have been killed or wounded since this began. Millions of Ukrainians had to flee their homes. As I move through the streets here, the scars of war are everywhere. In Kharkiv, air raid sirens have become background noise, like the hum of a city that just never sleeps. Russia has lost thousands of tanks while Ukraine has gone through billions of dollars worth of military equipment supplied by the West. But it's not just about military might. The infrastructure here is in ruins. Power plants, schools, hospitals, they've been wiped off the map. They say rebuilding everything will cost around $500 billion, an amount that goes up every single day this war continues. Talking to locals here, you sense a mixture of resilience and exhaustion. There's a stubborn will to fight on, but there's also the heavy burden of loss. Families are torn apart, homes are rubble. Yet, they still talk about victory. Not just taking back territory, but making sure Russia doesn't have the chance to invade again. There's cautious optimism with the US allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles. But there's also a fear that it's too little, too late. The war has changed gears so many times, and each time it feels like the stakes are getting higher. Visual. On the ground, you hear the whispers about Russia's reaction, how every move is seen as an excuse for escalation. Yet here in Ukraine, many believe there's no choice. They have to keep pushing, fighting for survival.
The big war has caught us while we were on a family retreat, skiing in the mountains in the western part of Ukraine. And we've planned this vacation since the summer.
Are very frightened who is in apartment because they hear constant bombing. And I understand how lucky we are because we in a subway station and don't hear it. Every day, twice or three times.
Most Ukrainians say they're not just fighting for land, but for their right to exist as a free and independent nation. They want their children to grow up in a Ukraine that doesn't fear another invasion. The unity here is striking. Despite the toll, people help each other in any way they can. They donate supplies, they volunteer, and they refuse to let this war define their future. It's a war of survival, and no one here is ready to give up.